Dupree woman. Find your inner strength.
Once we launch my purse line, we'll be on our way to giving the Kardashians a run for their money. I'm gonna shake things up.
A cycle of anger isn't healthy.
I'll be healthy again, as soon as I make a couple of cheaters pay for blowing up my life.
There were a number of times when you, or
Beyond the Gate spoilers for Thursday, January 29th, indicate Izaiah Hawthorne, David Lamy Freeb, will have a dilemma where Dani Dupree, Karla Mosley, is concerned, while the ChelseaKat purse brand will get a major opportunity with the Young and the Restless Femore's luxury clothing stores. A while back, Bill Hamilton, Time and Kyle duet, had promised Chelsea Hamilton, Ronnie Rose Mantilla, and Catherine Cat Richardson, Colby Natasha Nixon, that he'd hook up a meeting with Fenmore's so the two could pitch selling their purses in their stores. Well, the day has come, and the ladies have a major opportunity to score a big win with their company. Of course, the owner of Fenmore's is none other than the Young and the Restless Lauren Fenmore, so will Tracy E. Bregman make an appearance? There's been no announcement that she will, only time will tell. Elsewhere, Ashley Morgan, Jen Jacob, will be forced to play peacemaker when her ex-boyfriend, Derek Baldwin, Ben Gavin, and current romantic interest, Grayson Perez, Jordi Villasuso, have a confrontation. Derek has been completely out of line with Grayson, so how heated will things get between the two? Back to Bill, he'll attempt to reminisce about the old days with Vernon Dupree, Clifton Davis, but his former father-in-law will shoot him down. Bill has been feeling nostalgic, as fans caught him eyeing some old pictures of his wedding with Dani recently. It seems like Bill is coming to regret how he treated his ex-wife and may even regret leaving her for Hayley Hamilton, Mokita Goings. Speaking of Dani, Beyond the Gate spoilers for Thursday, January 29th, suggest that she'll present Izaiah with an offer. It looks like she hopes to sign him to her modeling agency. So what will Izaiah's response be? He's got a job right now working at Banneker University, a job that he loves. Will he have time to model, even part-time? Will he be willing to jeopardize his career for this? Can Dani convince him to give it a try? Meanwhile, Izaiah's girlfriend, Eva Thomas, Amber Michelle, will pay Leslie Thomas, Trisha Mangrant, a visit. With that said, based on Leslie's mood, Eva will sense trouble on the horizon, and she's not wrong. Leslie placed a sexy underwear between the couches in Ted Richardson's, Keith D. Robinson, hotel room for Shanice Johnson, Ernestine Johnson, to find. Eva's mom is very upset at how close Ted and Shanice have gotten, and she's looking to cause problems in their budding romance. Will she succeed? Beyond the Gate spoilers imply that the Thursday, January 29th episode will be an interesting show, jam-packed with romance, a little drama, and intense encounters. Her trouble is existential. She is now a captive of the very organization she sought to destroy, and her value as an informant has evaporated. Her life hangs by a thread, contingent solely on what use Thorne might still have for her, or what message her punishment will send to others who might consider betrayal. Her location is unknown, her allies unaware, and time is rapidly running out. Hayley's frustration, the key that won't turn. Contrasting the high-stakes terror of Anita and Eva is Hayley Finch's simmering, bureaucratic frustration. A frustration that is, in its own way, just as dangerous. As the tenacious reporter for the Port Charles Chronicle, Hayley has been digging into the city's infrastructure corruption, specifically the shady contracts around the new civic center. Her source, a low-level city planner plagued by guilt, promised her a smoking gun, a digital ledger of off-book payments stored on a secure server. Contrasting the high-stakes terror of Anita and Eva is Hayley Finch's simmering, bureaucratic frustration. A frustration that is, in its own way, just as dangerous. As the tenacious reporter for the Port Charles Chronicle, Hayley has been digging into the city's infrastructure corruption, specifically the shady contracts around the new civic center. Her source, a low-level city planner plagued by guilt, promised her a smoking gun, a digital ledger of off-book payments stored on a secure server. Today, after a cloak and dagger exchange, Hayley finally received the access key, a complex cryptographic sequence. Returning to her cluttered office, she isolated her computer from the network and input the code with trembling fingers. Access was granted. She saw the directory, files labeled with dates, amounts, and cryptic project codes. Her heart raced. This was it. She clicked on the first file. Error. File corrupted. She tried another. The same unreadable digital gibberish. A third, a fourth, all of them. The ledger was there, but utterly inaccessible, scrambled by a sophisticated encryption worm that triggered upon unauthorized access. Her source had been compromised, and the data was deliberately ruined before she could get to it. Hayley's frustration is a palpable force. She slammed her fist on her desk, letting out a cry of sheer exasperation. She can see the truth, can practically smell the corruption, but it remains locked behind a digital wall. This isn't just a dead end, it's a taunt. The forces she's investigating are not just corrupt, but technologically savvy and several steps ahead. Her reporter's instinct tells her the Civic Center corruption is a tributary flowing into the larger river of cartel money laundering, possibly even connecting to Thorne. But without proof, her story is just conspiracy theory. Her frustration is the fury of a truth-teller rendered mute, knowing that with every delay, the corrupt grow richer, bolder, and more entrenched. Converging paths, a storm brewing. The threads of these three stories are beginning to twist together in ominous ways. Anita's thumb drive doesn't just implicate Thorne, it potentially exposes the cartel's use of the free clinic, a detail that could vindicate Eva's reports to Russo if only someone could connect the dots. Hayley corrupted data, while frustrating, confirms a level of sophistication and paranoia in Port Charles' underworld that goes far beyond simple graft. Anita is now armed with a truth too dangerous to hold alone. Hayley is desperate for a credible source to revive her investigation. And Eva, if she survives, will need a miracle, and allies on the outside, to escape. Detective Russo, sensing Eva has gone dark, is mobilizing, but is operating in the dark. The episode closed on three powerful shots: Anita staring at the frozen image of Julian Thorne's face on her screen, her own reflection superimposed over his, her eyes hardening from horror into resolve. Eva, blindfolded in the pitch-black van, listening to the sound of the sea grow louder, a single tear tracing a path through the dirt on her cheek. And Hayley, in her office at night, the blue glow of her error message-filled monitor illuminating her determined face as she pulls out a fresh notebook and writes a single name at the top of a blank page: Thorne. January 30th was not a day of action, but of revelation and precarious tipping points. The gates have been flung wide open, and the monsters within are no longer hiding. They are in the living room, the clinic, and the highest offices in town. The only question now is who will be devoured first, and who will find the strength to fight back. Beyond the Gate spoilers for Wednesday, January 28th, imply that Nicole Dupree, Daphnee Duplaix, will give Catherine Cat Richardson, Colby Natasha Nixon, an earful, while Leslie Thomas, Trisha Mann Grant, sets a trap for someone. While Leslie's target is not named, it's hard not to think that Shanice Johnson, Ernestine Johnson, will be.